I'm Isis Romero, and this is the news in San Antonio. A dead body was found inside a vacant motel on San Antonio's northeast side. Vanessa Croy has the latest.
Officials tell us they believe the man's body had been there for at least a few days due to the advanced stages of decomposition. This is where they found him. You can see the second floor of this hotel that could be under renovation, according to police. But they found him on the second floor inside the attic. And the challenge out here most of the morning was getting the man's body out just because he was so far into the attic. The call came in around 9 o'clock this morning for the man's body found in this vacant hotel. But right now, police tell us they do not feel there's any signs of foul play. The condition of the man's body and his clothing did not show any signs of a struggle or any signs of trauma. The hotel, police say, had been closed down and a homeless population have been squatting here. And for that reason, they believe the man they found this morning is homeless. At this time, though, they tell us they don't have an ID or name or even age of the victim. Once again, police do not believe there is any suspicious activity connected to this man's death. But as for how exactly he died, that'll be up to the medical examiner to determine. Also, another question we have this afternoon is what will happen with this rundown vacant property? Well, that answer right now is still unclear. On the northeast side, Vanessa Croy, KENS 5.
Health officials are planning a free pet vaccination clinic this Saturday. County officials say protecting pets is more important than ever after a dog on the west side died after contracting the disease from a skunk. Rabies numbers are up across the county, and any pet who spends time outdoors can be at risk. Sue Kalberg shares life-saving tips from the experts.
The scariest thing about this situation is that the infected dog bit a family member.
They did receive the treatment necessary, and they're doing okay as far as I know.
Humans can recover, pets can't. And Gary says it's easy for pets to come into contact with the disease. They can be infected by free-roaming animals on the street or by wild animals in yards everywhere.
Obviously, San Antonio have a lot of wildlife, especially towards the edges of the city. We have a lot of wooded areas and all throughout San Antonio. So it's important that's why that vaccination is so important.
The family pet with rabies was infected when it killed a skunk. Gary says at first the family didn't consider the risk.
It was an unvaccinated dog, and then also they didn't report it. And so it took about a month, but over that course of that month that it wasn't reported, the dog started developing symptoms.
They say during the summers of 2024 and 25, they had about 3 cases of rabies, but so far this year, there have been 22. Saturday, there's a free vaccination clinic at Monterey Park for the first 100 pets that show up. At KENS5.com, we have a link where you can learn more about resources that will help you protect your family. At Animal Care Services, Sue Kalberg, KENS 5.
The school resource officers in Guadalupe County will remain in place this school year. The sheriff made the announcement after saying on Facebook earlier this week that the county's proposed budget would force him to remove the officers. Now, Navarro and Marion ISDs will keep their resource officers. Rania Kaur has a story.
Sheriff Joshua Ray stated the problem isn't over. They're still understaffed. But for now, both Navarro ISD and Marion ISD will have enough school resource officers to fulfill state mandates, at least until January. Specifically at Navarro ISD, the Guadalupe County Sheriff's Office has been filling the need for full-time school resource officers, making sure the district is able to comply with state mandates. The sheriff stated they're going to continue providing that staffing until a new commissioner's court, including a new Guadalupe County judge, takes office in January and addresses the staffing shortfall. Sheriff Ray said Marion ISD at this point already complies with state mandates and does not need full-time deputies from the sheriff's office. Initially, after Commissioner's Court proposed the budget, the sheriff stated he would have to pull the full-time positions from both Navarro and Marion ISD to address the short staffing. The call volume in Guadalupe County, he says, has risen to 1,100 more calls per month as compared to last year. Deputies will still be able to contract with districts when they're off duty. That hasn't changed. The proposed budget will still have to be finalized by the Commissioner's Court. That's set for September 1st. Rania Kaur, KENS 5.
For nearly 8 decades, NIOSA and La Villita have gone hand in hand. But now one of Fiesta's biggest events may have to reinvent itself or leave its longtime home. As Alicia Nieves reports, redevelopment will take away nearly half of the current event space.
It started at Mission San Jose, but for most of its 78 years, NIOSA has called La Villita home. 4 nights, 6,500 volunteers, now a crossroads.
So we need to reevaluate what should this event be? How do we retool it? How do we rework it to make sure that it continues to be successful as a fundraiser for the Conservation Society?
The Assembly Hall has been sold and is slated to become a food hall. New restaurants are planned for Maverick Plaza, home to NIOSA's Sauerkraut Bend, Frontier Town, and Irish Flat. The Society says those changes will take away 43% of its NIOSA footprint.
We can't say for sure what will happen next year.
The task force meets next week to decide whether NIOSA stays, moves, shrinks, or expands, and whether it returns for Fiesta 2027.
We're hoping that that's true. That's the goal. We want that to happen. It's become a very important part of the fabric of our community.
The uncertainty has already cost 2 jobs, one full-time and one part-time.
Depending on what we come up with, we may be able to bring them back on board.
NIOSA proceeds fund preservation grants, school tours, and a UTSA professorship, and have helped protect landmarks including the Espada Aqueduct and Aztec Theater. For now, their message to San Antonio:
Hang on to your hats. We have a lot of really creative people who are working on this, and we hope that we will knock their socks off when we come back.
Alicia Nieves, KENS 5.
And that's the news in San Antonio.